East Bay in the house.
East Bay in the
We're
Yeah.
house.
talking today with the Bonstones, and this is Rob Bonston on the left, Mark Pena on the right, and we're going to talk a little bit about what they're doing, and we're going to also discuss their album East Bay Elegy. I've seen you with different players. I don't know if I've ever seen all five of you at once. I think I might have seen all five of you at once. But explain to me how that works. Are these I guess we could call them support musicians?
So when we created the Bonstones, it was really just me, Mark, and Joe, and we recorded the album with that core group, and that is the core band.
Right, right.
But when we're going to do shows, Joe obviously can't play bass and guitar at the same time, and I'm not skilled enough a guitar player to cover all of the guitar parts. So we needed a bass player. So we recruited Aaron, our friend Aaron,
Aaron Camacho.
also known as Ronnie Bonstone.
Right,
so
right.
he's an amazing singer himself. He actually does voiceover work.
So good.
And he's amazing. And he's a great bass player. So yeah, that's where we got Ronnie. And then Joe said to me, he said, the guitar parts, it's a lot for you to sing and play guitar. So we could get Rich, our buddy Rich, to play guitar.
That's Rich Williamson, a.k.a. Scooby.
Scooby Bonstone. And so I'm like, I'm all for it. Let's do it. So that's the main configuration live. When we play live, it's the five of us.
When we record, when we create, as of now, it's the core three of us, the way it started. We want to keep it that way, keep that creative juice and cooperation flowing that we had since the beginning.
Yeah. So that's what that's about.
Well, talk a little bit about your influences and like where a lot of the inspiration for the Bonstones came about.
The Bonstones are an East Bay pop punk band. Our origins go all the way back to the Bay Area metal scene from the early 80s. So I think that's where that edge comes from. I mean, I'm used to playing fast and hard. I love that stuff. I started out in a band called Overdrive, and Rob started out in a band called The Ruffians. I was still aware of punk at the time. I mean, Rob and I grew up right there when the Ramones broke out.
We were there at the origins of punk rock when the Ramones first hit the scene, and then the Sex Pistols, and it went from there.
But we were already into metal, so we're going down that path. On the other hand, though, our guitarist Joe Selby, his roots, he listened to all the metal and stuff that we did, but by the time he was performing in bands, he hit right into the punk rock scene. So the early genesis stages of when East Bay punk and all that took off here. So
Joe was part of that whole punk scene when it first started. While we were in the sort of more metal genre, he was kind of going in the punk scene. Right. So he was there from the beginning. He was in a band called the Winona Riders. He was on Lookout Records. He was in a band called 3 Years Down. He knows all those guys.
Short stint with Fracas.
Yep.
Right.
So Joe's in the throes of it all.
Right.
And so that's what gives us our pop punk sensibility, if you will. And Rob and I came into it later, like I said. When the pop punk scene took off here, of course, we knew of Op Ivy and Rancid, of course, Green Day. Right? So we're always aware of this stuff.
It was there.
But I didn't really dive in until 2016 when I went to my first punk festival called the Monster Zero Mash in Innsbruck, Austria. And that's where I saw a bunch of great pop punk bands from all over Europe converging into one spot. And it just blew my mind to see these bands doing all these awesome things in a DIY fashion. Mm-hmm. It just amazed me, and the light bulb went off for me. I was like, why am I not doing this? Like, this is fantastic. So I started talking to the bands, and getting to know them and see how they do it. We're talking the Apers, D-Cracks, Jagger Holly, Riccabellis, the Mangies, all of these great European bands It just opened my eyes.
I was living in Malaysia at the time. I told him when I was coming back, and he said, "Well, I have this pop punk tour I'm going to do, just a duo, acoustic duo, and I was wondering if you could help me with it." So I'm like, "Sure." It opened my eyes. I didn't,
It's epic, dude.
all meeting all those guys in those bands, Rickabelli's,
Mighty Goose,
On My Arms, and and I love the music. I love the DIY attitude.
I know you guys are really a self-contained band, and you've definitely taken the DIY route, which is something that I really respect and enjoy and love. Did you, tell me how that worked? It was just made at home. What did you do?
We got back from Italy. I told Mark I'm in. I wrote a bunch of songs. Little did we know, like our buddy Joe, he starts to send me some songs. He says, I'm going to start doing a punk thing. Joe says to me, he says, well, it'd be great if we had a drummer who could play on this stuff too. And I'm like, well, it's funny you mentioned that. So, and that's basically how the Bonstones was born. I said, we got to join forces. You got to be in the Bonstones.
Totally.
And so the Bonstones was born. And so all of his songs that he was writing, all my songs that I was writing, and all the songs that Mark has been writing, we put it all together, and we've been recording already. We've been recording at home, and I would send, Joe my stuff, and I'd be like, well, I got to redo the vocals on this stuff. And he's like, no, it's fine. It's it's punk rock. It doesn't need to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm like, okay. Right. So basically our album was recorded before I even knew it.
Literally, these two had already made the album, and just with some drum loops, and the last thing to be done was to record my drums. And that's how we approached it. Kind of did it backwards. Instead of the foundation of the drums and everyone building on that, they had the songs done, made it easy on me. Yeah. I just came in. I mean, I listened to them over and over, made up some parts that I thought would fit good, and then boom, went in and laid them down, and then the album was done.
Yep.
Then the magic happened, because Joe, who already was writing songs, he recorded the songs, he mixed and mastered the songs, and it's really all his magic that made the album become in its final form. Then we released it ourselves on all the digital platforms. So, we have the digital product. We put it all on the streaming platforms. But I'm also happy to announce that we just secured a deal with Monster Zero Records out of Innsbruck for our European physical release. So we'll also have LPs and CDs, maybe cassettes, since that's kind of the new thing, the thing again. We're in discussions with a couple of U.S. labels for domestic physical release as well.
Tell me about the videos.
We've always discussed like what videos we're going to do, what songs we're going to do videos for, and then we talk about the videos for that song. So like, for instance, Mohawk Dog, it was obvious we were going to have dogs in it.
Right.
So it was all very DIY. All our videos are DIY. The one video that is we actually got someone else to collaborate with is our buddy Craig Hottie. He agreed to direct and shoot the video for Saturday Nancy, and he also edited the video. And so that whole concept was his idea, which was really cool. It was, basically, we're doing a live stream, and, here's the band, and, and then there's, cuts away to people that are watching on the live stream. And so that was super fun to make, and it was so fun to get people involved. Who was involved? Like,
I just reached out to all my pop punk friends. I got the Rickabelli's, got the Prozacs, got Jagger Holly, got a couple Killer super fans. I contacted my buddy Marco and his girlfriend. He's in the band Sad. Also locally, we were able to get our good friend Sean Osborne, who's in the Middle Aged Queers, to be in the video.
Davide and Christy.
Oh, Davide and Christy, TV Static, Abby Normal's Snatcher.
Gabba Gabba Pizza.
Oh, that's you got to mention that. It was just so heartwarming that everyone wanted to contribute, and they sent in the footage. If you go and check out the video, it's on YouTube. You will see, the funny hijinks that they were up to, and spliced everything together and came up with this great concept. So in that there's one where we actually had a professional helping us because Craig
Right.
does this for a living. He's not music videos, but he's in the business, and so he knew exactly what to do, and he did a
Well, it
great
looks
job. We
like
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
We love it. We have a new video coming out as well. It's an animated video where I reached out to a pal who did a video for the Prozacs. This cool cat named Jubilo from Brazil, and I loved his animated style. We got in touch with each other, and I asked him if he would do a video for us. He said absolutely. So now we've got a new animated video coming out
On
Friday the 13th.
Friday, October 13th.
October 13th.
Watch
So,
for that.
so look out for that one. Power of the Free. It's going to be awesome.
Let me know what your future plans are. Do you have plans for tours? Do you have more albums that you're looking forward to?
Yes.
And if so, will it be the same sort of DIY style that you've been utilizing up until now?
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
We have been concentrating heavily on local Bay Area shows. I really want to encourage everybody, get out there, go to the clubs. It's $10.
Go see a local band.
You're getting 4 bands in one night or something, and they're
Great
all
bands.
great caliber. You're not just, this is not amateur stuff. Everyone plays top notch, and they play their heart out. I mean, you can't get anything better for $10.
And you can discover some killer music that you would never have discovered before. And
so we're concentrating on the Bay Area right now. We'll be branching out along the West Coast, maybe up into the mountains. So talking, Reno into Salt Lake City, into Denver. But one thing we definitely have going on is we're in the throes of putting together an Italian tour in September of next year. So September 2024, we're going to go to Italy, and we're basically going to replicate the acoustic duo gig that Rob and I did, but now bring an electric band.
Bring the whole band.
So
this time we're going to bring the whole
now
band.
we're bringing the whole band. So we're already in talks with the Riccobellis, putting shows together. In addition to Northern Italy, we will also hit Innsbruck, the headquarters of Monster Zero Records. It's just a short train ride up into Austria from there. So we definitely will do a gig in Innsbruck as well. Those are our biggest plans so far. And who knows what we can squeeze in between.
We actually already have album number 2 almost all recorded except for drums. So we have like a ton of songs. And so we have a whole other album at least or more. Pretty much ready to go once Mark gets his, drums done and then Joe does his magic on it. So we're ready for another album soon.
In addition, we're looking to do a split with a local band, TV Static, and Davide Benedendo, and we may end up going to Italy together. So we'll see.
Great.
But we'll be doing a split
Fun.
and the second album, and we have a lot of future plans. Bonstones are not going away.
Yep.
What's your next gig? I know you have that, we're talking October because this is the October issue.
Okay.
So I know that you have the punk parade in November 11th coming up. Do you have anything in October that you can mention?
Yes, we do. We're playing October 8th at Surf and Satay Sunday. For Surf and Satay Sunday at Alpha Acid Brewery in Belmont. And that's going to be a killer show. We're playing with Loud Graves, and we're also playing with The Trouble with Monkeys and Hank Manager.
And the Jukebox Charlies.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So
that's like noon to 7 p.m., noon to 6 p.m.
They got brew, they got food, and now they got killer music. So that's going to be a great gig.
The punk parade's going to be pretty awesome too.
Oh, we can't wait for that. That's in our hometown of Alameda.
That's
the Bonstones.com, which there is a link at the very, very bottom of this page. Please check out the Bonstones website and come out to a gig. So I appreciate it very much. Again, Rob Bonston, Mark Pena from the Bonstones. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you, Patty.
Have a good one. It was
All
fun.
right.
All right.
Thank you.
Hope to see you at the shows, folks.
Yep.
Later.
Absolutely.
We'll see you
All
there.
right.
Okay.